good, y'all? Welcome back to Rick Knows Hoops. I'm your host, Tyreek. And before I start, I just want to remind you guys, if you're new, leave a like and subscribe. Just help the channel grow. Almost to 100 subscribers. So once again, thank y'all for that. But I want to get started. I just want to talk about LaMelo Ball, man. I think his potential is really endless, honestly. He had his best game of his career tonight. Scoring-wise, he had 34 points. They lost the game to the Utah Jazz, but that's kind of expected. So I just want to kind of focus on LaMelo a little bit. Special talent. I mean, we know his vision, his playmaking is already like close to elite, like especially in the open court. I mean, he just makes some great passes and he just sees things that the average point guard, especially rookie point guard, doesn't see on the court. Like for a rookie PG, his passing and vision and IQ is just really off the charts. And like, along with him being a rookie point guard, you don't expect like his percentages and stuff to be amazing, which they haven't been. But you can just see his impact when he's in the game. Like that Charlotte team's just much better. Like early on in the season, he wasn't getting like a lot of playing time. He was getting like 20 minutes a game or something like that. And everybody's saying like, why isn't LaMelo on the floor more? Like get LaMelo some more PT. And he's been starting lately. I think Devontae Graham is out, but he's started the last 3 games and he's played really well. And it's concluded tonight with a 34-point performance. And you just like to see that from a young point guard. Just starting to get his wings. I guess he's just starting to look better like each time I see him. And he's like the golden boy right now at the NBA. I mean, it happens all the time. There's always that new young player that pops onto the scene and everybody, like, he can do no wrong. Everything's a highlight. Like you see LaMelo Ball highlights on House of Highlights and stuff like that every night. But I mean, it's kind of warranted because he is a talented player, and I think he's going to be really good in the league. Like, it's scary how good this kid can be. Only 19 years old. His potential is really endless, and I just love to see him prospering because he has a lot of doubters, and I just like to see him playing well. And I think Charlotte, they have a really good future with him. Like, that's probably the best pick that Michael Jordan has made since he's been, the owner of the Hornets or whatever. So, they definitely lucked out with him falling to number 3, I guess. But I mean, he probably is leader for Rookie of the Year right now, I would say. I think him and like Tyrese Halliburton are probably like top 2 in my opinion. They both just won Rookie of the Month also, so shout out to them. But Anthony Edwards probably isn't that far behind. Emmanuel quickly too. James Wiseman's had his moments, but I think LaMelo's leading the way, and it's probably his award to lose. And I think because he gained so much attention, media attention too, that's gonna play a part into it. But shout out to LaMelo. They did lose this game to Utah. It's just good to see Utah continuing to win games. Donovan Mitchell had 30 points, and Bojan Bogdanovic had another 30-point game. He had 31 tonight, so he's starting to shoot the ball a lot better. And they're just still the best team in the NBA, looking just as good as they was the last time I talked about them. So shout out to them. We'll see if they can continue their pace going on as the season continues. I was gonna make this the topic story, but I had to give some love to LaMelo, and I didn't know how much this would be appealing to people to watch. But the KD situation, the contact tracing and stuff, like what the heck is going on, bro? They said he got his virus test and it was like inconclusive. So I got the notification at first. They said he's out because of trace. I'm like, okay, that's like the second time this happened, so okay, he's out again. And then I see he's playing. I'm like, okay, I thought he was out, but they said it was an inconclusive test or something. So he played, came off the bench for the first time in his career, and he scored like 11 points right off rip pretty much in the first half. So then I guess he was good. And then I think at halftime, all of a sudden, I don't know if it's the NBA or the Nets or whatever, but they're like, oh, it's positive. Like the test is positive or something like that. I'm like, like what? Like how? Like he just played a whole half of basketball, and now all of a sudden his test goes from inconclusive to positive, and he just played a whole half of basketball. So this could just be like a whole messy situation. Brooklyn, they play Philly tomorrow. They lost this game to the Raptors tonight. Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam both had 30 balls. Both look great. Pascal's starting to look a lot better. Fred VanVleet, I didn't talk about him, but he had a big 54-point game earlier this week, so shout out to him for that career night. But then, Kyle Lowry's starting to look a little better. Had a big game tonight, like I just mentioned, and Pascal's been hooping over the last few weeks also, so good for them. But this whole situation is just like it's probably it might just blow up like into something bad, like one of those big virus cases like how we saw in Major League Baseball. Sorry, I don't know how much y'all pay attention to MLB. I don't really pay that much attention, but with all the virus stuff going on, it's hard to miss some of the stuff that happened. Like there would be full teams, like full rosters that all came in contact with the virus, and they would miss like however many days you have to miss with the virus if you receive it, I guess. But I that could be something that happens with the Nets, because the Nets players like Jeff Green, and they were saying like we were around him, so like why were we still playing? Like we were around KD, like we were just we was in the same locker room with him in the same huddle, like, and he's around referees and stuff, and then the Raptors, he's playing against them, guarding players and all that. Like this whole situation could just really blow up. I hope it doesn't, but it's the whole virus stuff has almost been a year. Like we're about a month away from the 1 year anniversary to when everything blew up. It's a crazy situation. Me along with, I'm sure, everybody watching this and everybody in the world just wishes that it could just die down as soon as possible. I don't know how close we are to that point. Probably not close enough, especially in America, but shout out to the Raptors for getting this win. James Harden didn't shoot the ball a lot, if I'm not mistaken. It was a weird game. Like it was just a weird game. Like Malika Andrews, she said like this was the most weird game I've ever covered. She works for ESPN. She said this is the most weird game that she's ever covered, and it was honestly a weird game. Like I remember tuning into the fourth quarter. James Harden was out there, but he only shot like 5 shots at that point in the game, and then Kyrie wasn't on the floor, and then obviously the KD stuff. It was crazy, man. It's just a weird day in basketball, honestly. Very weird day in the NBA. So, I mean, I'm just really hopeful that this stuff does not blow up into something that it's not, man, because then we're just going to have one of those weird situations. Yeah, James Harden only shot 8 shots, and Kyrie only took 12. Just a weird game. I'm going to move on to the next one. Jason Tatum, bro, he's starting to look like he's making those improvements that I've been preaching. I know if my dad watches this, he's going to be like, I told you so, because I feel like he's a bigger Jason Tatum fan than I am. I feel like he loves this game way more than I do. And the points I always made is just like, I just wish he would make the game easier on himself, because if he just took smart shots, like he's going to be MVP candidate, like I keep saying. And he's making those strides. Like he's just taking smarter shots. He's getting to the basket a lot more. Like he's not settling. I love to see that. Not just as a Celtics fan, but just as a basketball fan. You just love to see players tap into, deeper potential. You just love to see that. And also his playmaking is taking like a big stride. Didn't like have the assist numbers tonight, but when the ball was in his hands, he was making the right decisions with the ball. And you like to see that. And against Sacramento the other night, I think he had 9 or 10 assists. I think he had 10 actually. He did have 10. So you like to see that, especially Jaylen Brown out tonight. He took on a bigger load. He had 34 in the game. And then Kemba hit some big shots, and he got off to a bad start, but down the stretch, he made a lot of big plays. And, I think the days of, cardiac Kemba is definitely behind us. Sad to say, but I think those days are definitely behind us. But I think as long as he just has to be good. He just has to be good on the offensive end, reliable. And, when the Celtics needed him tonight, he made big shots. I mean, he had a big step back to give them the lead with like 30 seconds left. And, you just like to see that from Kemba, because I'm starting to get worried about that knee. He just hasn't looked the same, but maybe he's just trying to get back in the rhythm. So we'll definitely see as everything goes on. Peyton Pritchard, the Celtics rookie, he's really good. He's way better than Jeff Teague at this point. Jeff Teague is just, he's bad now. He's really bad now. Tristan Thompson, surprising me. He's had some big games over like the last week or two. Just big games for him and for this team. And, he made some good plays tonight too. Like to see that. On the other side, Paul George did not play. Kawhi did, and he missed some shots down the stretch that you don't usually see Kawhi miss, like that mid-range pull-up. Like, that's money for Kawhi, and I think he missed it when they were trailing by 1 after Kemba hit that step-back shot. And then down by 3, he missed a pull-up 3, which was a tougher shot. But, Kawhi's one of those dudes that you expect to make that shot. But, not too much to take away from this game, honestly. Zubac looked good. Luke Kennard looked really good in the first half. Lou Will had a big fourth quarter. I think he had like 15 in the fourth quarter. So, some guys that haven't, been so great this season, show some flashes. So, I still really like this Clipper team, going forward. I mean, no Paul George tonight, no Patrick Beverly still. I think they'll be just fine. Yeah, there's a lot of games on tonight. The next one I watched was the Timberwolves and the Thunder. I don't know why I tuned into this one, but it was a close game, so I just wanted to see how it played out. Shea's still out, which, kind of sucks. Al Horford had a big game, like 26 points, I think 8 rebounds, 7 assists, like big game for Al Horford. Darius Bazley was making some plays when I was watching, but it ended up being D'Angelo Russell calling game. And it was funny because I was talking to my friends in the group chat, and I was just saying, like, D'Angelo Russell's just kind of, like, it's been kind of mid. Because he was just like, he wasn't playing good in that fourth quarter, really, but then put the ball in his hands, and, D'Lo, icing his veins, hit a big shot, from the top of the key, three-pointer to give the Wolves the 3-point lead, and they didn't look back from that. So, shout out to D'Lo. And Minnesota's one of those teams, like, I just want to see them win games, but with the roster that they have constructed, it doesn't seem like it. But maybe Cat coming back soon will give them sort of a spark, but they do got to fix things on the defensive end. But nice win for them because they almost blew this game, but solid win for them. Giannis had a 30-12 game against the Cavs. Kind of expect, like, I don't really know what to take away from the Bucks until I actually sit down and watch them play championship caliber team. I don't really know what to say about them. Shout out to Giannis, I guess. Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is that guy. He's special. He is a special player, man. He makes the game look easy. Like, that's what he just makes the game look easy. He's a really great scorer and also a really good playmaker. And the Pelicans are playing so much better since they were on that little losing streak. Like, they came back, made some adjustments, and they're playing so much better. Like, they got Lonzo playing on the ball, which it's Lonzo. He should be playing on the ball more. And I feel like they're running their offense a little more fluently. You like to see JJ Redick get out of that shooting slump. I know he's kicking himself about that. I think he's shooting like under 30% on the season, which is crazy. Zion broke a rim today. I seen that on social media, like broke the rim or something. He had a cool game. He had like 18 points or something like that. But B.I., he's the main story. Him and Lonzo really paced the Pelicans tonight. 1-point win in Indiana. Indiana's a really good team. Like, I think Indiana's like, if you can beat them, like, that's a great win for the Pelicans in my opinion. And you like the production that you're getting from, obviously Zoe and B.I. and then Zion chipping in. Like, 18 points might just seem like a cool game, but that's, what they needed tonight. B.I. had it going. And, that's a good win, and they shut Sabonis down. Like, Sabonis has been, one of the better bigs in the league this season. Probably, definitely has case to be an all-star in the Eastern Conference, and they pretty much locked him up. He only had 8 points in the game. That's a great showing. I mean, even Malcolm Brogdon didn't have a good game. So the Pelicans playing some defense. Like to see that, man. Good win for them. Shout out to Nick Vucevic, the Magic big man, had 43 points, 19 boards against the Bulls. He has had a really good, I don't even want to say good. He's been great this season. Like, I mean, I know it's Orlando. And I feel bad that they've been hit with the injury bug so bad, but Nick Vucevic has been really good this season. I mean, 22 and 11 so far, and he's just had some big games. Like, tonight is a prime example of that. Still, like, every time I look at them, I just think, I'm like, dang, Markel's out for the season. John Isaac out for the season. Just want to see them get healthy. This wouldn't be a bad time for them to tank, honestly. Go ahead, get a high draft pick. Build with your young talent. Evan Fournier is a free agent. Try and unload Nick Vucevic if you can. Just, build for the future. I've been preaching this, since the offseason. Just build for the future. Bradley Beal had the worst scoring game of his season. I think he only had 7 points. After setting the record for most games with 25 plus since the merger or something like that, he passed Michael Jordan when they beat the Heat the other night. But good win for Miami, dominant win. Kendrick Nunn, another Kendrick Nunn sighting, big game for him. You like to see him maybe get his confidence back up. Like we had the same conversation though, like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But yeah, and then the Suns, they beat up on the Pistons, kind of expected. Chris Paul's been on a little bit of a tear lately. He had another very solid game tonight. I think 20 points, 9 assists. So CP3 starting to tap back into the form he was in last season. Also forgot to mention from that OKC game, this is exactly what I wanted to mention, was Hamid Diallo had like 10 assists. I didn't know he had that playmaking in his bag, but good for him. 16 points, 10 assists. He did miss the shot to tie the game though. It was a tough shot though, but shout out to him. But yeah, that's all the games. I guess we'll definitely keep tabs on that KD situation with the virus, the contact tracing and all that. Y'all better make sure you have your alerts on, or stay updated on Twitter. Follow Halftime Hoops on IG, link in the description, because we'll definitely keep you guys updated with it. But good night of basketball. Sure, there'll be more games to talk about tomorrow, so we'll probably be back on the mic tomorrow night to talk to y'all about some hoops, man. But it's been real, y'all. I'm gonna be back next time though, y'all. Peace.